because I've been out of it for so long. Like, I've never had anybody have a problem with me saying, hi, you sweetheart. Or, hey, darling, how you doing? You know, I don't understand, me personally, I don't understand how me, from my perspective, saying something that was complimentary is now wrong. And I'm going to have to get my head around it. And it's like this morning now, I feel like when Xenomorph come in, bless her, you know, like, do I say, I will never understand it, I won't lie? Yeah. Like if her grandma had just died a week ago and she always called her sweetheart, then I would understand, but that's not probably the case. Then I don't understand. Yeah. So, well, yeah, but the thing is that we've got no way of knowing. There's just no way of knowing it. And to me, it just seems like we're heading towards this. In my mind, this is my opinion, okay, just mine, and I could be wrong. I won't lie. I don't like being called babe because it's just weird. But sweetheart, gorgeous, etc. It's just polite and endearing way of speaking. Yes, it is. Well, that's what I believe as well. All pitbull. I had a bad experience one with someone who used the word the. So I get triggered any time anyone uses the word. I have to spend 6 hours in my safe place. No one should ever use that word. Yeah, well, yeah, no, I understand you, Pitbull. But the thing is that everybody, also, we're not supposed to read everyone's mind. Well, when I explained this to my wife, who has lived, you know, in the last, the word wench, see now, calling a woman wench, I can understand how that could be derogatory, because the word wench is kind of for a certain type of person. That's why they call them wenches, right? And I understand that's like using the N-word to describe a black person, right? That was used in a certain way, and it has a connotation against it, which is, you know, negative. Calling somebody sweetheart, I don't understand where that was deemed as potentially negative, right? I understand that somebody might not like being called that, and that's fine. I'm not saying that you have no choice but to not like it, but I don't get it. I don't know. I feel like, it feels to me like, and I'm having my eyes open for the first time, so please, anybody out there that's watching this video that's making their judgments against me, I need you to understand, for 9 years I've been in my bedroom and I haven't left my bedroom. I do not watch television. I do not watch the news. I don't watch mainstream news. I don't even watch films and TV series, right? And the only people that I've talked to are my friends when I've been playing games, because I've been suffering with panic attacks and whatever else. So I have had no contact with the outside world. I never used to sit there and randomly watch YouTube videos or TikTok videos or anything, right? So please understand that is the God's too honest truth, right? So when I'm making these statements now, don't just think, oh, that's impossible, there's no way you could have known. I'm telling you, that's been my life for the last 9 years, right? And I'm trying now to learn. It seems to me like we're moving into this era, right? Do you watch the weather? Like, check it from your phone. I had no need to watch the weather. I never went out. It didn't bother me whether it was raining or sunny outside. I never bothered to check. It wasn't, and I was ill at the time, thinking I was going to die every day, 20 times a day. Just let people know. I would give a leg and an arm to be called sweetheart on my bad days. Yeah, exactly. The word is getting more sensitive and it's frustrating. Yeah, it is. And 30, and I'm a 33-year-old guy. You watch the weather. How do I check the weather? Call the dog in and see if he's wet. Well, yeah, there's that as well, right? But it feels like now we are literally, everything is going neutral, right? So what I mean by that is I found out yesterday, right? Honestly, I found this out yesterday. I didn't know that bathrooms are now universal for men and women. there's we're trying to get away from the male toilets and female toilets because of transgender and stuff, and I didn't know about this till yesterday. I know this probably is unbelievable for most of you. Oh, hello, darling. How you darling? I can't talk very much because I'm in the middle of doing this. But yeah. So yeah, I'm finding out about all of this yesterday, and it's like we because financial hell you will endure isn't worth it. If the tornado, anyway, might as well enjoy flying. Right, okay. You should if there would be a bad storm or tornado. Well, the thing is, if there is a bad storm or a tornado, I can't leave my bedroom to go to the hospital. Hey, Furious, how you doing, darling? No, I am going to keep calling you darling. I will call you sweetheart. If it offends you or anybody, if I offend anybody, please feel free to let me know, because I want you all to know as well that I'm not fed up with this woman that did it to me yesterday. Right, I'm not, and I have no ill will towards them at all. I just decided that okay, that wasn't for me, and I unfollowed, and then I said, okay, have a nice day, and I left. And I'm not doing anything. I'm not like trying to vilify her, which is why I'm not mentioning who it was or whatever else, because she did nothing wrong. But the craziest things against street lights. Some things have been becoming a thing. What? Yeah, I was kind of stunned, like, and but the thing is that I've noticed that everybody, including my family around me, which has been a bane of contention this morning, because like it hasn't been till yesterday that I now know that this kind of thing is existing and whatever. Everybody has this attitude. It doesn't bother me. You know, what can I do about it? And even my family has it. And like, I feel like I've woken up from this time cocoon, or I'm waking up, and I'm a man out of time now. I'm too old to be offended. Yeah, but you're also very gorgeous, so that helps, you know. But my wife actually said to me a while ago, she said, I worry about you when you can go out, because I'm cheeky like this, like I am on stream, as what I am in real life. That's who I am. I don't mean any offense by it, but she said you can't say and do the things that you used to. You'd probably end up getting arrested for it these days. And I was like, what? And after that yesterday, I was like, okay, now I'm a little bit worried. Flattery will get you everywhere. Well, you know. Maybe I will continue on. But and I just want to preface this again just by saying I hold no ill will to the person that did it. Right? They were well within their rights to say something that they don't like. But apparently there was, I mean, I didn't read the rules, but apparently within the rules you're not allowed to say like sweetheart, darling, or any other pet names, or call her by a pet name. The only way to address her was to call her by her name. And it made me think, right, what have blokes been doing potentially that have led to this point? Or, you know, I don't know that. So it was kind of mentioned to me the other day that, do you know how many people, how many men must go into their streams or her streams, right, or other women's streams, to just hit on them and be sleazy and whatever else? And I was like, wait, that's bad. That should never happen. But my argument was this: that's not me. And then they turned around and said, well, how does she know? And then I was thinking, so now everybody is time copying. Everyone in Texas calls me honey, sweetheart, something like that. Yeah, exactly. Right. So I said to him, so everybody now time cops. And he didn't actually get that reference until I explained it. So for those of you who haven't seen Time Cop, it's basically where they arrest people before they do something wrong. Right? That's the basic premise of it. So I said, like, why not just wait until I've said something that is then creepy or offensive to anybody with common sense, and then react, and then throw up a barrier then, or get rid of me because I've done something that you don't like. Why is it now that everybody is just censored in a blanket and don't get the opportunity to prove their innocence or guilt? I don't understand that. No, and I really don't. This anyway, gonna fly now. All right, buddy, I'll catch up soon. Definitely. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourself. Yeah, so like I think you can all kind of hear it in my voice. Like I'm a little bit shocked today, and I woke up feeling very confused and also worried, because like now I feel like I can't say anything. Of course I can say stuff, right? But now I'm kind of thinking, like, am I going to offend with it? But the thing is I'm thinking that, and I'm a person that I don't believe causes offence until I do cause offence. And when I actually do cause offence, unless it's accidentally, which I didn't notice, in which case then I rely on you to turn around and say, that wasn't a nice thing to say or to do or whatever else, and then we can discuss it, thrash it out, and then if I've done something wrong, I'll apologise for it. And if I don't apologise for it and I defend it, well then I wasn't trying to be nice at that point, and you probably deserved it. In my eyes, I understand, of course. But the fact is that everybody, when I can't even get my head around it. When did feelings trump common sense? I'm not going to do that because this could happen or that could happen. Now I've turned around and said this with here are those endearments. Yeah. But like when I was really ill, like with panic attacks and stuff, I was always told, well, don't overthink it. Don't worry about it. Just carry on and just, ignore it. Train yourself to not think about it, and then you'll feel better. But coming out into the world now, I'm noticing that no one's doing that, and they're all worrying about it, and the world's gone to, quite frankly, shit. I can't, and I don't understand it. And when I was talking to my wife earlier on, and I said to her about it, and I said, like, do you agree with it? And she was like, well, it doesn't really affect me, so, yeah. And when I do that, yeah, basically I'm sort of shrugging my shoulders, lifting my hands up in the air to say, well, whatever, it is what it is. I'm not going to do anything about it. And then I said to her, like, well, don't you feel like you should do something about it? And she was like, well, what can I do? She said, I'm just me. No one's going to listen to me, are they? I can't change anything. And then I said to her, but if it was you and loads of other people, eventually you'd have to be listened to, right? And it was like, yeah. And then I'm being looked at like I'm the one who's crazy. Hello, I am Mr. Innocent Blue. How you doing, darling? I'm going to keep calling you that until I'm not allowed to anymore. But yeah, and I feel, when I turn around and say I feel like I'm a man out of time now, I've done this instinctively my whole life. And now what I'm doing is wrong. But I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. And when I talk to people, they kind of suggest to me using common sense, that I'm not doing anything wrong. But apparently that doesn't matter, because there are some people out there, and I will preface this by saying, in my opinion, a minority of people are affecting the majority of people. Now, I don't know about you guys, but before I fell ill, apparently we lived in a democracy, and democracy kind of works off of the more people that want something can vote for it, right? Then that becomes the new normal, right? That's how democracy works. Okay, but nobody voted for this, and yet it's becoming law now. Like this whole hate speech thing. I watched an interview this morning with this woman, right, who was being absolutely awful to this bloke on a radio show or a podcast, I think it was, or a YouTube video. I don't even remember what it was now, right? But she was belittling him, calling him a little man, and just basically dismissing him and just being incredibly rude, because she wanted to get her point about, we need to make it illegal to be able to say things, certain things, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you are literally doing the thing that you're saying you want to make illegal. This doesn't, apparently, well, it's not necessarily hate speech, but this one person turned around and said that I didn't read the rules when I entered her chat room, which she was correct in, right? I didn't read the rules, and because of that, I didn't know that I couldn't call her sweetheart or darling or whatever else, and I couldn't call her pet names. Why would I don't understand why I would call her a pet name anyway, but and the only way that I could address her would be her name. And I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm gone, because that was my choice. I wasn't happy with that, me personally, and I wasn't nasty, and I'm not trying to call them out personally or whatever else. I'm more trying to call out the whole scenario behind it, as to how that has now become a thing. Does that make sense to anybody? And like I said, I am genuinely, I am a man out of time. And now I've got to learn to live in this new society. And I call it a new society because it is. But there's one thing I will turn around and say. It's a new society, right? Which has seemed to have forgotten what common sense is. And that's really scary. Like, I mean, really scary. Well, see, society is so much more accepting, but there is also way too much sensitivity. Yes, there is, which, when you think about it, is a bit backwards. It's completely backwards. I'd say I'd respect their wishes, but I'd also keep company. I don't keep company, like, yeah. And that's exactly what I've done, darling. I said thank you very much. I actually think I apologized for I said sorry, but thank you but thanks anyway. Have a great day. And the problem was, right, is that when I said that, I think she obviously knew that I was just going to leave, right? And then when I turned around and said, like, have a great day, there was no sarcasm behind it. It was like, you have a great day. I say it to you all the time, don't I? Right? But when she said it, she sort of gnarled her forehead, and I will have a great day. And it's like, wow. And all I did was say, hi, sweetheart, how you doing today? Now, maybe it's me that's blowing it out of proportion. Maybe it's like, well, you called her sweetheart, she didn't like it, get over it, whatever. But I don't know, like, for me, it's deeper than that. And this is just one person that I've run into that's done this. So it's not like I know of it being I laugh at that. Someone needs therapy. Yeah, well, I need therapy for it. I think I need lessons in how to be a human again. But everybody I've spoken to, it does make sense. But you have to understand one thing: logic, common sense, and common decency is no longer part of society. Yeah, and that's the thing I'm coming to, Pitbull. That's the thing that I can't agree with. Nah, Mark, you'll be fine. What's this? Common decency. They've been replaced with taking offence every opportunity and trying to make everything about you and your own insecurities. Too much entitlement in the wrong places. Nah, Mark, I think you'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will, because the reason why I think and I know I'm going to be well, because I nothing I ever do is from a place of toxicity. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can lose my temper and I can be an arsehole, just like anybody can, right? But I would never, and I do never, go out of my way to inflict my will.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hello. Who's this? What's this? Mark. Totally unrelated subject. I apologise for going off topic, but I need some tech advice. Yes, hit me with it. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying, and that's happening to me a lot as well. I apologise. I start a conversation, go into it, and then it just literally goes out of my head. But I don't know. It got me yesterday, and it's been on my mind all day today. I've done nothing but think about it, because it's like, I don't want to cause offence to anybody. I don't. But then I also don't want to have to walk around and constantly, tiptoe around everybody and change the person that I am, because I think, and this is my own opinion, I think I'm a nice person. I think I have the potential to be a twat, like we all do, but I think intrinsically I'm a nice person. And now I'm like fact checking myself. Do I say this? Can I say that? Is me saying this and that going to affect this and that? Because once you take that out of it, we're literally all robots. Because every response will be the same. Like, you walk into a room and instead of like going up and seeing your mate and like hugging him or whatever else, hey, how you doing? It's been ages since I've seen you. I've really missed you. Everyone's just going to walk into a room and go, hello. And that's it. They're literally just going to go, hi. And then the next person's going to just go, hi, how are you? Well, I'm fine. Any particular reason why you asked how I am? Well, no, I just making sure that you're okay. Well, do I not look okay? And that's what it's going to be. Mark, just don't think about your words. Just say them. But then that's the problem. Like, I stream, right? Which means that I have the potential of upsetting strangers that I don't know. And what I'm trying to say is I don't want to do that. I don't want to upset people. And I was left in this situation earlier on of thinking, should I stop streaming? Because I can't change who I am. I'm 48 years of age. Well, let's put it this way. I can change it, but I don't want to change it because I feel like that's changing me. Right, give me a second. Let me just read this. Right. One of my managers here at work just dropped in an external hard drive in my laptop, and it shows as not accessible. The disk structure is corrupted and unreadable. I'm currently running check disk on my PC, but trying to find things to try if this doesn't work. So it's actually telling you that the disk is corrupted and unreadable, right? What file system is it? Is it FAT32, exFAT32, or NTFS? I'm just trying to think what I did for my other drive. That's the error that pops up when I try to browse the content with File Explorer. Okay, so when you go into, for argument's sake, computer management, What does it tell you in there when you look in there? And does it tell you how much of the hard drive, how much space is free on it, or does it just say that it's corrupted? Evidently, we are starting to enter the era of humanity's downfall. Yeah, Zine, honestly, darling, I couldn't have put it better myself. I don't see humanity lasting half as long as as heading in the direction, but it's the cycle, I guess. I feel like you may be getting into your head too much about it. I don't see it as you should take your mistake. More miscommunication between two, which can happen. No, and that I agree with, which is why I'm here. Please don't. I'm not going to stop streaming. And it's not like I'm allowing this to like envelop my life or anything else, or it's really personally affected me, because it has and it hasn't. My reason for talking to you all is because I've always gauged things in my life, right? Of if it's something I want to go and do, or if it's something I want, I'll generally ask my friends or my peers, right, what they think, right? And then what I've learned to do over the years is I take a general consensus of everybody else's opinions or disopinion, right, disagreement of it, and then I weigh up the pros and cons myself, and then I make my own informed decision as to what I'm going to do next. And this is kind of what I'm doing with you guys right now. Because as I said to you, I don't really talk to a lot of people when I'm not in here, right? My friends are always telling me that I need to come on here and stream more and, you know, stop being on my own so much. But I don't, so I'm kind of doing it with you guys. But yeah, don't worry about me, darling. It's not like I'm sitting here going, oh, I'm not going to stream no more because this one person said that. I'm just trying to gauge other people's opinions. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't leave you all. I enjoy doing this far too much. That's why I'm trying to get better so quickly. Right, what's this? When I go to disk management and open up the disk properties, it shows 0% used. And it doesn't show NTFS or FAT, it shows RAW. Right, okay. What was this drive used for? Yeah, check disk isn't going to work. Right, I'm almost 100% positive that check disk is going to yield no results whatsoever, other than telling you the drive's kaput. So it sounds to me like for want of a better example of it, the master boot record is being corrupted on the drive for whatever reason, but the information is still on the drive. He had it plugged into a USB and saved his files on it. Okay, so what kind of software have you got for disk recovery? None. Okay, first off, what I would do is I would try to download. There's a couple of free ones. They're not particularly great, but you're not actually doing it to recover the stuff. What you want to do is find one that's free, one that somebody said that works or whatever else. I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. And then I would run a check through the drive with that piece of software. Then if the software actually comes up with the stuff that's on the drive, then you know it's definitely there, right? And that piece of software may be able to repair that drive for you, right? Or it will lead you down the other route, which is where you could use a clone drive, where it doesn't really care about software and stuff. It just wants to rip the data that's on there onto another drive. Do you get what I mean? The company will pay if I need to buy one. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Rather than them just paying out for it, first of all, you could see whether or not that a free one would yield any kind of semi-positive results. Do you know what I mean? Because other than that, then the only option that you've got, if it's a spinning drive, would be to send it to a recovery agent and have them take it apart and then read the disk on a different drive. Oh, it's an SSD. Oh, mate, that makes it even worse. Yeah, that's even more expensive to try and recover data. Yeah, that sounds to me like it's got a corrupted chip, potentially. Yeah, just go with my idea first of all. Try using a recovery disk piece of software, and then see what results that yields first of all, and then let me know, and then we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, please, if I've given anybody the impression that I'm worried, but I'm not upset or anything, or I'm not devastated, and it's not going to affect my life, you know. Well, I suppose it is a bit, but you know, I'm perfectly fine, is what I'm trying to say. I just wanted to gauge everyone's opinion. I thought it was an interesting thing to talk about today.